Welcome to Bearing It All with Rose and Chrystal.
Where the conversations get real, emotions run raw, and nothing is filtered.
Buckle up because we're bearing it all, deep diving into everything from motherhood to mental health and everything in between. We want to get to know you, each other, and our bodies, and things are going to get spicy.
Real spicy. Are you ready for it?
Let's do it. Hey guys, today we're talking about ADHD in women, diagnosed and undiagnosed. It's a big thing.
And I'm pretty sure that both of us have diagnosed ourselves.
Well,
Dr. Chrystal.
Dr. Rose. And the good thing about having ADHD diagnosis, so I'm diagnosed and I'm going through the process, or, you know, I'm procrastinating, but I am going to possibly get medicated soon, is that I feel like once you know you've got it, like one of the abilities you have now is to diagnose somebody else. So I've officially diagnosed Chrystal with ADHD just because I just know, okay? But
You could bulk bill me for that.
I
don't know.
Disclaimer, I have
But
not
listen,
officially.
so when I was a child, my mum did do all the testing for me. I was actually diagnosed as ADD or ADHD as a child.
Yep.
But my mum, being the hippie that she is, she's not so much of a hippie anymore,
Yep.
but was like, I'm not putting her on meds when I was a kid.
Okay.
So I was put on a really strict diet. So as a child, I was not allowed to drink soft drink. I was reduced in what sugars intakes I had because I was so hypo, like
Yep.
crazy next level hyperactivity. So that's why I wasn't allowed to have sugary stuff. And then obviously growing up, it was never spoken about. My
Yep.
mum never said to me, hey, like as a child you were diagnosed with.
So technically you were diagnosed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't go to the doctor now and be like, hey, give me meds. I was diagnosed when I was 5. I don't know if that would work.
No, I don't think it does.
I need to go through the whole thing again.
See, my parents were the opposite. My parents were like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Just go outside and run.
Yeah.
So I'm diagnosed as inattentive and hyperactive. So you can be hyperactive or inattentive or a combination of both. And I'm a combination of both. Well, I think you'd be both. You're inattentive and hyper like a psycho.
Yeah,
Well, we're
at
not
times.
psychos, but I think your mind is busy.
Yes.
See, I was diagnosed at officially, 38? Yeah, 38.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And I started going to therapy. So I originally went to therapy not to get a diagnosis.
You went to therapy because you were feeling all sorts of things that you thought was something
Anxious,
else.
and I thought I'm on the edge, like I can't take this anymore. So my parents always knew like I was hyper, always knew that like once I hyperfixated on something, once I put my mind to something, you could achieve anything. If I was interested in it, my dad actually even used to say this, if you're interested in something, you're like no one can be better than you. And I was like, yeah, Dad, that's ADHD. So I tell him that now. And he goes, you're not ADHD. He still says it to this day. He still says, no.
I reckon it's old school mentality. They don't believe in they don't even believe in anxiety, honestly.
No.
Like our parents and their parents, they didn't have like all of these things now. Do you know what I mean? They didn't have autism even.
No.
Like it was a thing, but it wasn't talked about. It wasn't spoken about like it is now.
No.
And it's so known now, like about all of these different varieties of things that you could have that they don't believe it. They're like, that's all cuckoo, juju, buju.
Yeah, I said to Dad the other day, I was like ADHD, and he's like, you don't have ADHD. Why I don't believe in this stuff. And I said, you've bloody got ADHD. I got it from you.
Yeah.
So does Mum. I said, like, it's often genetic and can be passed down. So I don't know if this is the actual stat. Like, I cannot remember, so don't quote me on it. But I think it's like 1 in 4. Like, if you have kids, 1 in 4 will
have ADHD.
25% or whatever it is. I think it's something like that.
Levi has got the all sorts now.
You're going through all that.
He's getting tested and poked and prodded, and not actually poked and prodded. But you know what I mean? Like, we're just trying to help him however we can right now. And some of the things he's going through, I'm like, oh no, you got that from me.
Yeah, you see it in your kids and you think, oh my God, I wish that someone would have told me what was going on. So at least one of my kids, Scarlett, we're getting tested at the moment, and I will get one of the other ones tested soon.
So I've come to the understanding of why people aren't getting tested. It is fucking expensive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's like $1,800 to $2,000 just to see somebody, and that's not even to start talking about medication.
No. You've got to go to therapy first. So you go to the psychiatrist. Is this right? Psychiatrist and psychologist. Which one's which?
So you need to go to the psychologist first. And then the psychiatrist is what gives you the medication.
Yeah. So psychologist is what I started with. Yes. And you go for a certain amount of sessions until they understand what you...
They refer you.
Yes. And then you go to the psychiatrist where... It doesn't mean just because they referred you, the psychiatrist still makes their own decisions and then gets proof. So you need like a letter. So
usually your psychologist will do some testing. Yes. We did testing with Levi. I can't remember what the test is called, but we did like a few different tests and then they come back with like red flags, I guess. Like it's
a score.
It comes up of like what they think.
Yep.
Is triggered that you have, and then they send that off.
Yeah, and they also read up, like my therapist wrote up like a big report on his findings and what he's like learnt about me and how he feels moving forward. And then you go to psychiatrist, and then they do their own assessment as well. So you can't just develop ADHD. You have it your whole life. Same with autism. So they look for proof in your past. So I've got, thankfully for Mum kept all my reports.
Rose did not concentrate in class.
Rose could achieve so much only if she paid attention.
Yeah.
Paid attention. Like every single one was we don't know how she achieves what she achieves considering she doesn't listen to anything or she's always off with the fairies. And I was like, yeah.
That was me.
I just cram in study the night before. Like nothing motivates me more than pressure, than ultimate pressure the day before. Like, so if something's due in 6 weeks, you can bet your ass I won't be fucking starting it till the day before. Or the week before at best.
That's me.
That's it. And I will get 100%. It done.
Yeah.
But nothing else will exist other than that thing.
But do you reckon it's because I don't know about you, but for me, I can't handle the thought of like having to do the task.
Yes.
Like I don't want to think about doing the task until I have to do the task at the very last second. Otherwise, if I've got 6 weeks to prep, I'm going to be so anxious doing it for that 6 weeks. I would rather just, neither.
I do it all at once. It is so much, it's like pressure to start it. Like I get procrastination so bad like that I can't do anything. So I will clean the house, procrastinate. I call it procrastinating. My house sometimes, if I've got something to do that's super important, that's due, my house will never be cleaner. I will bake all the baked goods. I don't bake. I'm not really a baker. But if I got something else to do,
you're doing anything but the thing that you need to do.
Procrastinating, procrastinating, hair care, anything but what has to be done.
Yeah.
Because it's like instant reward. Like that's how my therapist sort of described it. He's like, not only do you not know how to start it mentally, he goes, you also will get a reward out of that cleaning. So like you instantly see results, so it's rewarding. It's like shopping.
For me. Oh my God, it's shopping for me. But do you know what I do? I know that I have so many things to do and then I get overwhelmed by the tasks that I have to do. I just go have a nap.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
People do that as well. So I
can't think about it. I need to go and lay on the couch because I'm so overwhelmed.
So there's 2 ways you can do it and that's so normal. I didn't know that was normal. You can either shut down completely and go watch TV, nap, completely avoidance.
Yes.
And like just want to like never get out of bed, or you like do it with your hyperactivity, like you're doing stuff other than the task.
I think at work I have the hyperactivity side, but at home I shut down. Yeah.
Because we've got a lot to do.
I look at like the laundry basket. I look at the things that I have to do and I'm like, oh, feels too much.
Yeah.
And then I just sometimes can't cope. Where the other night I did fold like 6 laundry baskets in half an hour.
Yeah.
And I just powered through it. But sometimes I just can't.
It's because there was probably 6.
Oh, and I just knew I had to do it.
I reckon maybe. But that's the thing. Like also with women, and girls, we are often misdiagnosed, not diagnosed at all, or not diagnosed until we're very later in life. So like I said, like when I went to the therapist, and I love my therapist, he's so cool. Hi, Matt, if you're listening. He said to me, like, it's often also after we have kids. A big percentage of women will get diagnosed after they have children because the overwhelm and the load on us is just so much that we can't take it anymore.
I literally just found the stats. I looked up the stats.
Let's do it.
Good old ChatGPT here.
Yeah,
I rely on this little fucker for so many things.
But this, okay, let's hear it.
So this is exactly what came up. Late diagnosis is so common. Women with ADHD aren't diagnosed until their 30s or 40s, often years after being misdiagnosed with anxiety or depression.
Yep.
They're told that they're just too emotional or bad at adulting. But really, they've got ADHD.
Wow.
And how many times have you thought, I'm actually a shitty adult or a shitty parent or a shitty
mum.
wife?
Yep.
That's me all the time. And it's just ADHD.
That's fucking psycho.
Yeah.
That's wild to me because the anxiety, the imposter syndrome my whole life, never thinking I'm good enough, always concerned, always worried that I was lazy. Like,
that's massive in ADHDs.
It's awful. ADHDs. It's actually really nice and relieving
that there's proof
that there's something
actually backing us that
wrong with us.
Yes,
I know that sounds weird, but when I actually got, like, honestly, it was only a couple of sessions in. He's like, look, I'm fairly confident to say, he goes, this actually, he didn't say, he goes, it will actually cost him money because he could help hold me in for like as many sessions as he felt necessary. But he goes, I'm pretty confident to say that, you know, to refer you on now because 100% I feel that you have ADHD. So but I stuck with him. I still go to therapy. I haven't been for a while. Yeah. So
but you go for other things too, not just
everything
that.
Came out, but it didn't start as a diagnosis.
Yeah.
So I went for severe anxiety. I've had anxiety and struggled with anxiety my whole life. Well, duh. Obviously there was something underlying.
That's the reason.
But I went when it got so much, like after my fourth kid. I could no longer take it.
It also says here, women, like, we mask all of our symptoms, right? And that ADHD, here, I saw something about postnatal depression. Like,
and my fourth child.
Linked.
Yeah.
It's linked. It's all linked.
Is it?
Yes. It just was in here before.
So
75% of women say they struggle with low self-esteem and imposter syndrome and feel like they're constantly behind in life. That was one of the things. And ADHD, here it was here. We're so good at masking our ADHD, right, that we become perfect professionalisms, people pleasers.
Yes, perfect people pleasers. Like, we want to people please.
Constantly.
And you want to, like, just, I don't know, you want to feel normal and act normal. So, but the imposter syndrome thing, oof.
I'm trying to find where it was.
But definitely after my fourth child, I experienced postpartum depression, which I'd never experienced with the other kids. After I sort of worked through that, the anxiety would come and go like normal.
Yeah.
But it got to the point 2 years ago where it was so bad that I felt like someone was stepping on my chest permanently. I've had that before, panic attack, etc. I still get that now.
Yeah.
We're talking that feeling every single day for 2 weeks. I couldn't get rid of it. It was hurting. I felt like I could die.
Yeah.
Like I was going to have a heart attack.
Like you were struggling so bad.
I went to the doctor and I haven't done this before and I was like, that's it. I'm ready. Give me medication for anxiety, which I've always not wanted to have.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctor. I told him everything that was going on. And for some reason, this doctor was different. And he was like, look, I've seen you like many times before and like I know what you're saying here, but have you ever considered that you might be like you might have ADHD? And I was like, no. No, I am organized. I am neat. I am clean. Like, I know that sounds really stereotypical, but I was like, I don't have.
You didn't see it.
I'm not the mess. I'm not that. You know how some people shut down and they go messy, whereas my procrastinating side keeps everything clean and organized so that my mind can relax.
Yes.
And he's like, it's not just all about that. He goes, look, I can, refer you to a therapist, and that's not necessarily he's actually an ADHD specialist in adults.
This doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he's an ADHD specialist, but he's a therapist. He goes, he may say you have ADHD. He may just, you can just go for therapy with him either way. And so I was like, what have I got to lose? I was like, also give me medication. Like, give me some. I actually said to him,
you needed relief.
I need something. I don't know what it is, Valium or something of that description. I was so scared to take it. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get addicted. I'm going to die. I'm going to fall asleep. And,
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking.
The intrusive thoughts that ADHDers get and the overthinking. So I took half and I was like, but it did calm me down. It took the stress off my chest. It took a lot, but I felt like very numb. I won't lie. But it helped me sleep. And that's another thing. I wasn't sleeping. Went to therapy, cried before I went in. It was all good. It was fine. Chatted it out. It was so normal and actually so relieving. So you cover everything. You're not just talking about ADHD, and they don't ask you questions that you think that you're going to ask. It was scary walking in, but it was so good to go to see somebody and talk about shit with someone that doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
They don't judge you. They don't know your life. They don't know your friends. You don't really know your family. They don't care. They're just there to help. That's their actual job. So that was very helpful.
Do you think, though, that we are diagnosing ourselves with something that we possibly don't have? I'm not saying us because, it's too there.
Well, we're already done. I'm already done. I'm already diagnosed. But I think it's easy to see traits of yourself with people that do have ADHD. Mm-hmm. Everyone has those traits. You can have anxiety. You can be overwhelmed as a mother. You can feel all the things. You can procrastinate. That might just be something that you do. But
I just think that we all have something. Like we're all different, that we've all just got little traits that make us who we are.
That's right.
We're all a bit spicy,
We are all a bit spicy in some level.
But it is funny because I do think I'm more attracted to people who have ADHD.
They say that you often do make friends with people that feel the same.
Even our clients that come into the salon, within 5 minutes, both of us know if they've got ADHD, and we're blown into a full ADHD conversation with them.
Yes. We've actually just asked and gone, hey, or we've said, I'm Rose is actually ADHD, or you've said something like that. And then you're like, oh, so am I. And we're like, we know. We knew straight away.
Yeah.
You can pick each other out. You can feel there's something there.
It's almost like the zombies, when they call to each other.
I'm walking in the dead.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. So maybe we just have our own what's it called? Telepathic.
I don't know.
I see you. I see you.
Do you see me? I see you.
It's like our brains intertwined somehow.
Yeah. But having a diagnosis is so relieving. I can't even describe, because it actually makes
you feel normal, I think. It makes you feel like, hey, I'm just not fucked up. I actually am different.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yes.
You just think differently.
Yes.
And your brain works differently. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. But I think your whole life, if you haven't been diagnosed, until 38, for 38 years, I actually just felt different. Mm-hmm. I felt like I wasn't normal. I felt lazy. I felt just shit about a lot of things that I was doing that is very ADHD, part of my ADHD, made me feel like I was a piece of shit.
The main thing is, I think, when you do have ADHD and you're not diagnosed, or you have no idea that you even have it, it is the feeling of being misunderstood.
Yes.
Or what is wrong with me? I can't concentrate.
Why can't I do it?
Yes. That constant feeling negative about yourself. Yep. And I think when you do get that diagnosis, it's kind of like a relief, or a weight lifted off your shoulder of oh, this makes sense.
Yeah. And you're not blaming it. I think some people
I do.
Oh, this is trending. I was like, yeah, it's trending for you, but it's not actually fun. This hasn't been fun for me.
It's not fun, but I do blame it. If I've forgotten to do something, and I have actually forgotten to do something, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have an ADHD brain, and I am like Dory off Nemo.
Yeah.
I actually am.
I've seen it.
I start something, and then I'm like, oh, that's pretty. What's over there? And then I start something else. And then next minute I've started 5 different things, and I'm like, shit. My house is a friggin' mess because I started cleaning the office, I started cleaning the kitchen, I started cleaning the laundry room all at the same time.
Yep.
Then I went out to burnout mode, and I went to sleep. And I left everything in the hallway. That happens regularly for me.
That's me with projects. I'm like, I'm going to start sanding this cupboard down. I'm going to make it beautiful.
Well, the other day I called you and you were like, yeah, I'm just painting my kitchen. So what the fuck on a Monday morning? Why are you painting what was it, Sunday?
But I still one side's still not painted. It's still partly blue and partly pink.
The fact that you've painted it blue and pink, I'm a little concerned.
Oh, shit. It's
because you don't even really like colour. So
I don't like colour that
understand.
much. Okay, and that's another thing. I have to have my house very calm and serene.
Yes, your house is beige and white.
Because it's
serene.
It's because my mind is colourful and because my mind is busy, I can't handle when my house is busy.
Yeah.
Like I need to walk into a place that's calm.
Oh, well, then you shouldn't have had 4 kids, babe.
That was my bad.
I'll never forget I came to your house one day and the kids had popped like a beanbag. And you had those little styrofoam balls everywhere and you were like, I'm giving up right now.
I did. I gave up on life. I was like,
and I think you found them for like 3 months all over your house.
There's still some in the garden. Like they're still blowing through. Fuckers.
Yeah, no, probably wasn't the smartest thing to do when your brain doesn't think clearly.
Oh, God. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I didn't know.
I did see here that 60% of women with ADHD experience postnatal depression, anxiety, depression on its own, and PTSD.
Yeah.
That
doesn't really shock me, to be honest.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think I just got to my absolute ultimate burnout stage after the 4th child.
Jesus. It's so like approximately 1 in 20 people have ADHD in Australia.
Yeah. And see, that's why there is so many of us. That if that's like an accurate stat, that's why there is so many of us. And that's why when with social media, with learning all of this, more and more people are going to get diagnosed.
Yeah.
And that's why we're hearing about it more. Whereas back in our parents' day, nobody was talking about it because they didn't really do it. And they didn't really – if you went to therapy back then, it was a very expensive rich people thing to do.
Yeah.
And even now, it's a fucking privilege to even be able to afford some of these services.
Oh, my gosh. Like –
even me, I can only probably go like once every 2 months because they're expensive. They're expensive sessions. Like Craig was so supportive when I first like started going. I think I was going once every 2 weeks, and it was so expensive.
But even I was looking because obviously recently with Levi, he's going through some things. He's been. I don't know if it's a proper diagnosis, but they've said that he was flagged for ADD and autism. So he's on the spectrum, but to what level, we don't know. Yes. But he definitely does have some social cues that show that he has autism, which I trying to explain to him, like, it is fine.
Yep.
Just because you have autism does not mean that, you know, I think a lot of people
There's a stigma.
People think of autism as like a full disability, like, you know, somebody said to me, oh, but he doesn't look like a Down syndrome. And I said, do you even know what the difference is?
That is so
rude
and offensive. Yes. One, to people that do have Down syndrome.
Exactly.
That's completely different.
And I'm like, I think it is actually uneducation. Uneducation?
It's uneducated.
You're uneducated.
Yeah.
If you think that autism and Down syndrome are the same thing, then you are very uneducated.
I cannot even fathom how offensive that is on every level.
Oh my gosh.
It's
but
so
imagine
rude.
What my son feels like if that's what he's thinking. Like if people are saying those kind of things, is that what he's thinking? Like
I think there's such a stigma around being called autistic or being even called saying that you're not neurotypical.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with it. You think differently. Your brain is different. Autism as well, for that matter. Autism is a spectrum.
Yes, it's so wide.
Yes, it can range so far in so many different ways that can present.
Yes.
So I think that's really offensive, and it's probably why at his age, because he's a little bit older now as well. So he's coming into that teen age, and it's going to feel like there's something – now he's been told he's like, there's something wrong with me.
The older he's getting, the more present it is, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So as a child, none of his teachers would pick up any of the things that now I'm picking up. So usually children would get
under the radar.
They would get diagnosed early, right? Like usually 5, 6, 7.
Even younger, I think.
Yeah, you've got a full diagnosis. But he's been in therapy for a very long time. Like I would say probably from the age of, maybe as young as 6 or 7.
Yeah.
because he had a lot of different things, but it makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
But no therapist picked up any of the things that now this therapist has. But that's because it's not getting noticed until he's older. So he's struggling in high school.
Yes.
He's actually
this is where
struggling.
It's really shown.
Yes. All his teachers in primary school just said, like, obviously he was really quiet. He would go unnoticed kind of thing.
Undetected.
Yes. And then now, obviously in high school, he is struggling. He can't concentrate. He's with the fairies half the time.
Yep.
And then obviously now the autism side has come into it. So we're just trying to get that sorted. But I think for a lot of people, when they think of autism, they do think it as like a severe learning disability, or they think of it as like something that you would know that you're being impacted by. But it's not true.
That's not necessarily true for everybody.
No.
Again, a spectrum.
It's so wide. And this is what the therapist was telling me. Like, he could just be on the spectrum enough that it's impacting him.
Yes. But I think there shouldn't be a stigma, whether that is, doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter if that child or adult is on the spectrum where they have got like severe like learning difficulties or anything like that. Just accepting people for who they are.
Yeah.
And just being really kind, like to the parent and the adult alike, because like saying shit like that, that's damaging.
I honestly think it's just like people
they're not educated.
They're just not educated. I just think they don't know and they just assume, or I'm not sure. But anyways, we keep it very to ourselves, to be honest, because every time I do bring it up to anybody, I'm hit with like judgment, I guess. Like,
that is really
how do you know? And no, he's not. And well, I know that I've been told. So don't say to me, no, he's not. Like, I live with him. I see the things that he struggles with daily.
Yeah. I know how much you guys have to like work with him.
It's hard. It's hard work every day. And it could just be as simple as he can't leave the house without wearing socks.
Yeah.
Like, it's just as simple as that.
With the sensory thing, I get that.
And it makes sense. Like, I have the same sensory thing, except for I cannot wear socks.
Yeah, I know. We are weird like that.
Yeah, so he has to wear socks, and if I wear socks,
suffocating when you wear socks.
I feel like I'm strangling. I'm being strangled.
For me, everyone's just going to laugh. You're going to laugh. I don't like clothes sometimes at all.
Because you're being strangled.
I feel like I can't breathe. And I feel more comfortable in a pair of underwear and a crop.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what size I was, doesn't matter what shape I'm in. Like, obviously, like, I jump on Insta and that's hard because obviously, like, I had to learn to love my body over years and years. But, like, people would be like, oh, yeah, shocking. Like, no, it's for me as well. I can think better when I don't have – not when I'm naked. I don't have to be naked. I just can't have –
Restriction.
Like,
I would never see you in a turtleneck ever.
Oh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I would cut it off.
Yeah.
I was at work the other day and I was like, I had a heavy denim dress on and it was cute and I love it. It's one of my favorite. But you know when you can't lift your arms properly? Like, it's a little bit restrictive under the arm because it's tight. It's heavy.
Can you drive in it?
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. Like, all day the girls were just like, what the hell? I'm like, I need to take this off. Does anyone have any clothes here I can change into? I was unbuttoning it. By the end of the day, I was half undressed. I had 3 buttons undone, 3 from the bottom. I was suffocating in the dress because I couldn't move properly and I felt it was very heavy on my body and I couldn't think. My brain wasn't working because I had the dress on.
See, you love to wear necklaces and you've probably got like 3 necklaces
I can wear
on right now.
But
I can't wear necklaces. I'm going to die. I'm like claustrophobic with jewelry on. I feel like I'm going to choke.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
So it is funny that we have all these little different things that either bother us or don't. Like, yours is a fidget and
it feels like a fidget
you know
thing.
What I mean?
And I also find that with my wedding ring, I'll flick it around and around and around. And if I ever take it off, I get a panic because I was like, because I know that I do it all the time.
Well, I'm claustrophobic by jewelry.
Yeah.
Full claustrophobic by jewelry and socks.
And socks.
I don't know how my neck is feeling closed when I've got socks on, but it does.
Yeah, but sometimes even though when we're in the studio, we take our shoes off.
Yeah. I will never have socks on, sorry.
No, you don't.
I could be in a blizzard and not need to wear socks probably. I don't know.
You might be cold.
We'll see when I travel one day.
Maybe.
We'll see if I want to wear socks, but it's a thing. So anyways, guys, like, we've chatted all the autism and the ADHD things today, but it is a very interesting topic.
It is. And there is a lot of us that probably need to just, I would say, start with therapy.
Yes.
If you can, I think you can go, no, not think. I know you can get a mental health plan.
Yes.
And you can get 6 sessions.
I think it's 10.
I got, if it's 10 now, that's even better.
Look,
I got 6.
Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was 10. Maybe I got 10 for Levi.
I got 6 for myself, and then I think you can go back the year after or 6 months after. I'm not sure on that, but like get another 6.
Yeah.
And your doctor just has to approve it, and that you can tell them like, look, it's doing wonders for me, and then you can get like it takes a little bit off your Medicare bill.
So, no, HBF or
whatever it is, private health or whatever it is. So that is, if you're not sure that you've got ADHD, or even if like shit is niggling you, even for anxiety, those touches of depression, like it is normal. You're not depressed just because you have ebbs and flows. Just because you feel depressed doesn't mean you're in depression necessarily. But it's worth going to get a couple of therapy sessions. Like it's not like, I think we need to take the stigma that therapy means there's something actually wrong with you. There's something wrong with all of us.
We need to talk about like things being okay that we have it, because, you know, autism, ADHD, ADD, OCD,
yes,
bipolar.
There's so many.
There is literally, like, even my dad was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar. Yeah. And he lived and breathed like a normal guy. Like, besides the fact that he liked things being a certain way, which who of us doesn't, he had both of these things probably his whole entire life. Yeah. So I think we need to just open up that just because you have something doesn't mean that you're a weirdo or that there's something wrong with you. Just finding out that you have something is going to help you with your life. If you help somebody and get a diagnosis and maybe go on medication or maybe see a therapist, you might live a better life. Yeah.
And sometimes for me, like I've said, it's relieving. Yeah. Like I feel like I go, oh, I kind of I understand myself now. Looking back, I understand why I did certain things and the way that I manage things. So like even with the cleaning, like it's instant gratification. When I clean something, I see a task that's done and it's very rewarding for my brain. I'm like, yeah. It's like getting online shopping. You buy it and when it comes, it's rewarding. Now everybody gets a dopamine hit from shopping. Everyone. That's absolutely everyone gets a little hit from like a new thing.
I got 3 parcels today, baby. I still had to nap though, but it was glorious.
It is. When it comes to my door, I'm like, hello. It feels fucking good. Yeah. But again, like that's exactly right. Knowing what's wrong or right or how your brain works is really relieving for me. Like I was like, oh, I cried when he said the words. I actually cried in relief. Yeah. And then it brought up a lot of other things.
But do you think it helps with your relationship more? Because like I am a shit wife. Like
you are not a shit wife.
Nah, but like I do things and I think, God, that's pretty shit. But I blame the ADHD and sometimes he's like, you know, you blame something that do you even have it? And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'm assuming.
It's all right. You're going to go to therapy. We're going to find out. You find it out for sure.
I'm actually going to do it this year. Before I'm 40, I'm going to get a diagnosis.
Well, you already had your childhood diagnosis.
Yes.
Come on.
It's pretty obvious.
I think once they have that, they could probably track it back, but you probably still have to go back into therapy.
From probably 1980,
90s? The 90s. Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not.
But yeah, no, sometimes I think, it does affect your relationship if they don't know, if they don't understand. Yeah. Craig understands it now. Like he knows he has to be my like shadow. So if I've got something really, really important to do, I've got a job that's due in front of the computer, like whether that be for content or whether it be for like, you know, an interior job.
He has to make sure you stay on topic.
This is weird. He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be in the room. They call it something, body doubling. He doesn't have to talk to me. He doesn't have to do anything. He could sit on his phone in the corner.
But is he keeping you accountable? So like if you went to go get up, he'd be like, are you finished?
No, but I know he's there. So for some reason I stay on task because I know he's in the room. Because if he leaves, and sometimes I beg him, I'm like, you know I can't finish if you don't stay. I've had to ask my daughter to do it. I was like, Indy, can you please stay with me because I can't finish it if you leave.
Oh,
and she'll sit in the room with a book while I'm doing it because I need it. So this is kind of why I'm kind of leaning now like down the medication path. Like my therapist was like, Rose, you do the therapy. You do a really good job. You listen, you put it into play. You've been trying your best to put all those practices into play. But he goes, medication is the gold standard. And he goes, I think, you know, it's worth giving it a go and it's worth trying, because I was scared that, one, it was going to dull me down.
Yes, that's my fear.
And I thought, one, it was going to take away all my creativity and make me feel like a shell. And he's like, no, that's not the case. There's lots of different medications you can go on. And I also thought I would be addicted to them. But he said, no, they're not addictive. So I was like, okay. And this year, I'm going to give it a go.
Good for you.
Thanks, mate.
I think it will be good. And also, I can just watch you and see if I want to do it.
And I can diagnose. No.
Maybe I'll just slip a sneaky pill from yours.
Things we say on this podcast may or may not happen.
Do not send me to jail.
Oh,
is it illegal to take someone else's medication? Just asking for a friend.
Absolutely. I don't know. I don't actually know. I know nothing legally about this stuff.
These fuckers selling their bloody ADHD medication on the streets. We ain't doing that. You're just giving it to me for free.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Honestly, I don't know. But I remember when I was a kid, like taking them because everyone wanted to take a Dexy. Okay, I'm not implicating myself, but when you're young, and I was like, nothing. This shit does nothing to me. I was like, I just stayed awake all day, but that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
Impact.
I was like, why is everyone going crazy? I was like feeling good. I was like, no, this is boring.
Yeah,
I was like,
because it did what it was meant to do.
It calmed me down.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, woo, and I was like, oh, fucking, this is doing nothing. You guys are lying. I thought they were lying.
That was like the biggest red flag back then. But as a kid, you probably didn't think.
No, you just thought, oh, this is what everyone's talking about. I just thought they were all bullshitting. I was like, oh, they're going hypo, whatever. They're just like, when you pretend you're drunk. I was like, oh, they're just pretending they're high or hypo or whatever. I was like, this is boring. I want to go home.
That's funny.
And not sleep for 3 days.
I wonder how many kids out there are taking Dexies and it's doing that to them.
It's doing nothing. Anyway, guys. That's it for today. We will keep you updated. We'll keep you updated whether Chrystal ends up going to therapy and like getting her proper new diagnosis as an adult. Yes. And I'll let you know how I go on the medication track, because it is a long road and it can be like, you got to test the waters on
different medications,
different stuff and what works for you. But yeah, we'll keep you updated. So until next time, take care of yourselves.
And take care of each other.
Bye.
Bye-bye.